Hi and welcome, Mark. I am so glad to share space with you today.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Terry.
So, I believe that you have started and completed your training, level one and level two with Jesse. And I would love to dive in today and talk a little bit further with you on that. But before we dive into that, would you share with us, give us a picture into who you were and what you were experiencing before you even started your training with the Breathing Center?
So yeah, going back to childhood, my mom tells me at 4 she noticed that I was having breathing issues and got diagnosed with asthma. And for most of my life, it was pretty mild. I still played sports and was a good athlete and was on very little medication. Sometimes just short-term inhalers. And then when I got older, I noticed it was getting worse. And then last year it got pretty bad to the point where I didn't want to leave the house without my medication, and it was very difficult. And my quality of life was really reduced, and it pretty much just took over. Yeah, and I knew I had to do something about it, and I knew that the traditional medicine wasn't going to help me because I tried that, and then it brought me here to the Buteyko method and the breathing center.
So, what kind of symptoms and were you experiencing? Like, if you look back in the time when you were using the inhaler, what did that look like for you, and how did that affect your lifestyle and the things that you were able to do?
It pretty much affected um, every aspect of my life. Um, Even simple things were difficult. Everything was difficult. My breathing was very dysfunctional, and just really simple things like reading my son a bedtime story. I was out of breath. It scared me. Yeah, it was a pretty scary time, and I feel like I wasn't getting any help from from medical doctors at all.
Solution basically just the inhaler, and that's where it stopped?
Yeah, so I had the short-term inhaler, which I was using, which was Ventolin, which I was using like a couple times an hour, maybe. Um, and then I had the long-term uh, inhaler also that I was using a couple times a day, and there was no change at all. And I learned through this program and a lot of mindfulness, and you know, it was a pretty incredible journey. But I learned that stress is my biggest problem, and when I get stressed, it goes to my lungs, and I get asthma symptoms. And looking back, it's obvious. I was obviously, very stressed at the time, and I'm glad that working with the practitioner helped me figure that out, and then gave me tools to use um, to deal with stress.
So I'm sure that they went right into that in level one, and then you've gone into level two and completed it.
Mhm.
What is the difference for yourself that you found from level one to level two?
So level one was basically getting the pieces in place, all the building blocks in place, and it was a lot of work. It wasn't a lot of forcing, but I was uncomfortable a lot. I was doing a lot of meditation, which I've never really done before. Um, it was cold, which I don't like the cold, but cold showers and using cold to build the immune system, which is uncomfortable for anybody. Um, Using some heat also, um, and so getting all those, and then just being very very mindful of my breath and being connected to my breath, and just starting some physical exercise. Um, so I was getting all those pieces in place, and then with level 2, it was deepening the practice with all those pieces. So a lot of it was physical exercise. I kind of took that to a new level. I started running. I run 3 miles a day now. I find that sustainable for me. I could probably run more, but it's just, a sustainable amount. That's something I like to do, something I really enjoy. Um, but it was just really building up the habit. So I really do believe in the 21-day building a habit. And then now it's almost unconscious. I just work it into my life, and it's in my daily routine, and there's not much thought process to it. And I enjoy it. I found things I enjoyed. I let go of some things, but other things like physical exercise, some meditation, and cold, that I really enjoy it. And I work it into my life. I don't take a ton of time to do it. It just, it's integrated in my life.
That's fantastic. So what did your control pause look like before you started training, and then to where it's at today?
Mm-hmm. So my control pause when I started was about 15. And within like a couple months, so I'd say like a month, I was able to bring it to 20. And then it was hitting 20 and stabilizing at 20 when I started to feel better. But if I was under 20, I had symptoms, and they were noticeable, and it just really hampered me during the day. And then, so I started in March, so 6 months ago. So now I'm stabilized at 30, and it's not even a thought or anything I deal with. It's, if I do get stressed and I start feeling symptoms, I have the tools to deal with it. But from day to day life, asthma is not an issue. I'm able to move on and deal with other things in my life. But yeah, as far as asthma goes and having asthma symptoms, it's not an issue.
So Jesse shared with me that you actually, one of the other side effects that you've kind of experienced is some weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that all fit in? Was this something that you were striving for? Was it just some random thing that happened? Like how does that play into your experience in the last, couple of years?
Right. So with doing a lot of meditation and with my CP going up, I became very intuitive of what the next step was. And food, I don't think, is a really big part of the program. But I felt like for me, that was the next step. And a lot of it was discipline, self-discipline of, I got to be very mindful of how much I'm eating and when I'm eating, and how, why I'm eating. Because a lot of time when I eat, I'm not even hungry. It's for other reasons, stress. And I think that really helped me deepen my self-mastery process when I was able to train my body not to eat all the time. I only need to eat twice a day now. And I have times where I eat, and that's it.
Yeah, what I'm hearing you say is it was like a piece of the puzzle, but it wasn't like the focus. Like you didn't join this program to lose weight, right? But this was a
No.
piece of this larger puzzle that I feel like you're sharing with me,
Yeah.
that you have experienced this transition for yourself, and this was a part of that whole grand circle where the
Yeah.
more mindful you got and the more connected to yourself and your breath, you saw its tentacles, right? The connection with stress, the connection with food, and it all kind of came together for you.
Yeah, right. I always thought my whole life diet and exercise was the most important thing. And I would follow books and routines and, all that. And then through this program made me realize that relaxation is the foundation of health, and mindfulness, and just knowing what your body needs and how much of it, and not to push, because willpower runs out. And if you push too hard, it's just It's just one of these get thin fast, or these diets that never work out, or these training routines that never work out. If you listen to your body and understand what it needs through relaxation and meditation, you become very intuitive, and then that intuition kind of leads you down a lifelong practice. It's very gradual. It's my practice was so gradual that I barely even noticed from day to day, but I had to look back after a month and say, where was I a month ago and where am I now? And then I saw the results. And so and I'm just going to keep at it, and if I plateau, I just enjoy my routine. So yeah.
That's so powerful what you're saying. So what is your relationship today with your inhaler?
Probably when I hit 20, my CP at 20 is when the inhaler was gone. And I couldn't even tell you. I think it's in the house somewhere. I don't think I'd ever use that thing again. Yeah. And it really just treats the symptoms. It doesn't treat the root cause. And I know my root cause, and it's probably different for people, but I can't imagine I would ever use that again.
Yeah. So anything else that you would like to share in regards to the training, completing your training? I know you trained with Jesse. Anything you'd like to share with people in regards to Jesse or the Breathing Center?
It's just really knowing your physiology, I think. And it's everything. It's mind, body, and soul. You can't just do one thing. Health is holistic, and it starts at relaxation. Me and Jesse really connected, so it was just fun talking. I talked to him like a friend,
Yeah.
and I feel like I met a friend through this program also. And yeah, so I think that was also really important because I trusted him, and he really understands health. Like I trusted his knowledge in health, and even though some of the stuff was really subtle, it had big results, and gradual. It had big results.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. I know you're going to help a lot of people by opening up and sharing these thoughts, and I really appreciate that.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for your time.